I was done faster. I had achieved what I was trying to accomplish using that control of self as the mechanism to control myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because by right, I'm supposed to be the went on a mad rampage and tore this motherfucker up from coast to coast.
Yeah, ape shit.
Right. But when I get the discipline, I could see an advantage to following the script. We almost at the end gate. Ain't no sense of bucking the motherfucking order when you can use the order to take over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Chess,
Right.
not
Right.
checkers. Right? So you don't want to tear it all down if you can utilize some of it to make your rebuild easier. This is why I say we got to catch the government before it totally collapses and start to rebuild a new government. But people not understanding that concept yet.
I feel you on that.
The government got to fall to the point where the people can't deny it no more before they would even consider rebuilding a new government.
That's sad.
Right. And then when you tell them start at your local government, because that's where you got your greatest control, right? They still don't get it. Right. There's certain people that's going to always be the mayor, whether they're in office or not. That's a chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that chief, they going to always, the mayor going to tell you, going to tell you to do something, and they going to go ask the chief. You can't help it. It's the nature of the people.
Yeah.
So when you understand the nature of the people, you adapt and you adjust. There's chiefs all over the land about to reestablish their jurisdiction.
That's right.
But the people got to be cohesive as a unit enough to understand how they was using the divide and conquer mechanisms to turn the tribes of the earth against each other. You know, because some of them might have a little bit more Anunnaki blood than others. They look down on.
Yeah, right.
I'm more God than you. Well, how much God do it take to be God?
One drop.
If you God, look, and if you God, how much God do you have?
Yeah, right.
How much God are you? If you got either half a God or you're not, demigod, what is you?
That's right.
Right. So when you understand that the force that is, when it's activated mitochondrial, this is what makes this 12, 11-year-old boy a grandmaster.
And chess.
Yeah. He got the discipline already. And then he got the structure and the love of his parents to make him want to be better at what he's doing.
That's fire, Rod.
That's why they want to break our families up.
That's fire.
The father is the motivator. Whenever you upgrade yourself, your kids gonna upgrade themselves. They can't help it. They seen their daddy do it. They got to do it when they get a certain age. They know they got to do a certain thing. Mm-hmm. But we don't know this. And they try to erase it out of our culture. But when you watch great men, you find that a lot of them lived and died around the same age because we didn't know they had to stop them at certain ages before they allowed them to continue on and take over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you're looking at Malcolm and Martin, they both 39.
Wow. Go ahead.
I think Noble Drew was 39.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Marcus Garvey was 53. Elijah was 63. He was 10 years past their order. That means he had set up a good system they couldn't penetrate.
They couldn't touch him. They're done.
But he knew he was infiltrated because Malcolm told him.
Yep.
Because Malcolm knew who they was because the police had thoroughly infiltrated the Nation of Islam. He told them in the public. And that's why they always assumed that certain people was in on it until they find out that it was exactly who Malcolm said it was. It was the police and the FBI.
Yep. That's right.
That's who he said it was the whole time. How did Elijah know he was infiltrated? And what did the motherfuckers that infiltrated look like?
Like us.
So you got to know there can't be no pale face behind it. Yeah. And the same thing applied to Marcus Garvey. The same thing applied to Patrice Lumumba, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, Jomo Kenyatta, and the Mau Mau. Everybody is being betrayed by somebody that looked like us. So then the elders left the message for posterity: get rid of the enemy within,
Right.
and you won't have to fear the enemy without. What they mean by that?
Go
Why
ahead.
they leave that for us? So this is how you speak to the future. They call that hedging your bets. Because some of us believe our elders better than we believe this current system.
That's right.
Right? So now you get to the Nuwabian part of the UNIA. Because Malachi wrote everything from a family book to a constitution,
Right.
to multiple fields of study in the degrees of Mohammedanism, Christism, degrees of Mosesism, right?
Right.
Answering the 360 questions for a Muslim, the 360 questions for a Christian, and the 360 question for a Hebrew Israelite.
That's right. Right.
Right. So if he know the answers to the questions, why they don't know them?
That's a good question.
Then ain't that they don't know them, it's that they are under a selective ideology that was predicated upon the false teaching.
Okay, go ahead.
And by accepting the reality that you've been deceived, now you got to accept that reality and you have to deal with it to improve yourself in that regard. That's called learning to protect yourself from evil. Insulate yourself from false teachings. Right? That means anything that's rooted in fear, that you need to study that without fear. Right? So Noble Ali say, I'm gonna make the European tell you the truth.
Yep.
So then next thing you know, you got an onrush of European thinkers in the sciences and in the churches.
Whistleblowers.
You got Mary Baker Eddy, right? You got Madame Blavatsky.
Right.
You got Manly P. Hall. Right? You got Aleister Crowley, Franz Bardon. And they all carrying heavyweight information. You got Rudolf Steiner, Israel Regardie. And they dropping it heavy. But you know we ain't paying no attention because you want to have something from a nigga, put it in the book, right?
That's how you got to do. That's what they say.
So if your elders make them tell you the truth, how you gonna know the truth if you don't go where they put it? In the library, where they bury their lives.
That's right.
The truth there, but you got to go dig that shit out.
That's right.
Right? So now we learned that they play word games. They play board games, mind games, political games, assassination games, war games. These are the games of the guys played out on one board in the galactic chess.
Go ahead.
But you play it like you're playing it in a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
You put your headphones on and you get absorbed in the game so much that you lose track to the reality that you're just playing the game. The game of the gods. You don't ever control it as long as you be a victim to it. It's right in the rules. The victim can never be the controller of the fate of others until he becomes the victimizer. And the only reason why the victim become the victimizer is to overthrow oppression. He victimized those who victimize his people.
Right.
Right. So the keys to magic is the keys to unconditional love, control of the self, and the discipline to become what you will. Then the part that you want to develop, study it. Study the mythology, the fiction, the non-fiction. If it's science is on it, study it. Because the more you understand it, the more you can control it. As you practice it, the stronger you get in the function. You can make the chi accumulate in your hand to be hot or cold.
Right. Go ahead.
But if you don't understand the usage of it and you don't practice, you ain't going to be good at nothing. And the practice is doing it until your subconscious have it locked in. Mm-hmm. Muscle memory, subconscious memory. Repetition until you absorb it. The same with hypnosis. You got to go through a repetition in order to get put in hypnosis.
That's right.
And you got to be in a alpha wave state, theta wave state to absorb information. So you got to understand the states of mind. How do you facilitate that state of mind and then practice?
Go ahead.
That's the hard part because nobody got no discipline no more.
It's one of the best tapes we drop, bro. I'm telling you. This right here, I love this information you give me right now. I needed this. I needed this information for the cheat because that's what I'm studying right now. This harnessing this the air, harnessing the energy because all the energy is in the air. So the power is in the air, in the breathing. And we've been talking about that for the longest. And just breathing and absorbing. Like when you notice when niggas when you make somebody mad or they finna get ready to fight or anything, they always take in some air first.
Yep, deep breath.
Or the cool off, even the cool off or the calm down, they say. Or even when you get get hit, like you hit a bone, hit a funny bone or something, you go, take in some air, baby. Ooh, oh, that shit hurt. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the science of breath.
Yeah.
That's a book. But practicing different breathing techniques give you control of different bodily functions.
Pain, you can control pain through breathing. You can control pain through breathing.
So the more you understand the breath, that's spirit.
Yep.
Spiritus mean the breath.
Go ahead.
Right? That's the word spirit. Spiritus. It's Latin. Right? I mean the breath. The function of the breath is to facilitate the oxidization of the materials that you use as a waste product. When they oxidize, that's when the body starts to burn. The burning is the sensation of the conversion of all of that stuff into some usable substance for your mitochondria to power your DNA.
That's right. Go in.
If you go to the mitochondria, you'll find that in the mitochondria is the matrix. And when you unravel this secret, as we just went through it, you unraveling the keys and the source of the matrix. So when they tell you that God is a man and you tell them God is a woman, now they'll understand it a little better. X-Men Academy.
Right. And that's what I was gonna tell you too. Like when women having a baby, they say breathe. Go ahead. You know, when they're having the baby out, they say take some deep breaths, relax. You know, so like it's gotta that I think the beginning of the chi is discipline. It's discipline, like you said, then harnessing the air energy. It's something doing with the air, how they gather in that power because the electricity, all that work with the air. So it's getting the air. Yep.
Yeah. That's what you're using for Prime Creator to relay the information to your mitochondria. You gotta remember, if you study epigenetics, you know that we projected into ourselves from somewhere else. And if we projected into ourselves from somewhere else, that means we got to be in a remote location where we're not in this form. Right? And we being projected, the inner workings of the mechanism is telling us that the self is projected through the mitochondrial and it's reading his book of life off the DNA. The DNA is giving you your instructions of why you came here and how you need to move in order to get your job done. Genetic memory.
Do this, Rod. Like, so we got our babies, right? We got these babies that's advanced. I'm telling you, my baby is advanced. How do I start? Do I start training them like you were showing in this tape? Like start blindfolding them, make them catch a ball, make them do this stuff, make them read, doing like this, like they could talk.
You gotta know.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you need to understand what the mind doing.
Okay.
If you understand what the mind doing, then you can instruct them better.
Okay.
Like, I don't give a cookie cutter for everybody because every child is different in how they need to be taught.
Okay.
But it's some things that you can teach them, no matter what their learning style, that'll help them grasp and translate information quicker.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, we need to teach our children speed reading.
Yep, you was talking about that.
As soon as possible. As soon as they got the phonics, they got a program I like. I ordered them and I end up having to cancel my payments on them because their business practices didn't match their product. Their product is excellent, but their business. Anyway, the IQ reading program, right? It uses what look like video games to train the eye to perceive faster.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple of side effects come with learning speed reading. One is it broadens your peripheral vision. which means it allows you to see a larger spectrum on the light spectrum than you normally would see. You also pick up information faster. It was a movie, a series just come on USA. This dude, his father was a cop. And his father was teaching them at an early age how to pay attention to detail. SikApe, that's the name of it. His father trained him how to pay such close attention to detail until his mind began to register details without having to really look for them.
Yeah, just automatic.
Right, because it was redundantly taught and embedded in him at an early age. You gotta remember the Jackson Fives used to get out of school and rehearse till it was bedtime.
That's facts. Go ahead. I was gonna say that. Go ahead.
You know, look at Beyonce Knowles.
That's right.
They can say what they want about her, but if you look at how hard she been training from a child,
that's right.
Right, she can only be what she is because she trained herself to be that. Yes. If her self-confidence match her skill development, she has to reach that level.
That's right, bro.
That's just the law of nature.
Tiger Woods, same thing.
Yeah, same with Tiger Woods. Same with the Venus and Serena, whatever the people say they is or not. Yep. But the thing is, you can't take away that all of their childhood they practiced.
That's right.
And they became good at a faster pace than the average child.
Right.
And then they took over.
That's right.
It is what it is.
God. Yeah, so you got people like, and then like the people that start out like Mayweather. Mayweather was doing it when he says he was a kid. His dad. Yep. So now he the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Like, they mentioned Kobe. Yep. LeBron too.
Yep. Yep.
LeBron was playing with NBA players, and at a young age, they used to come into his town to play with him.
That's right. That's right. Kobe too. Kobe. Yep. So a lot of these cats that's come great. A lot of them, some people. Like if Michael Jordan, he rare. He said like he started playing in the 12th grade or something like that. Yeah, he rare. You know what I'm saying? He became the GOAT. He rare. But like you got some people, they never even tap into their potential till later on in their life. They figure out they could have been the GOAT.
Call them late bloomers.
Yeah. Late bloomers. Go ahead.
Yeah. So some of us go through hard life to be the best elders. All we doing is training to be in the position we truly want to be in. So if I go through life and I learn how to kick ass, take names, get rich, and play games, now I know everything I need to know to have fun with my family when I get old. So once we get to the point where we can become the elders, now we can enjoy our family the best. Right, so that's where I'm at. That's why I'm a late bloomer. I could have did this shit when I was 8 and told these people that there's some strangers on the land, but I couldn't tell them exactly where they was at.
Yeah, they probably would have took you out right then, bro, like they did Lil Chief, Lil Horn. What his name is?
Yeah, talking about Emmett.
Yeah, Lil Emmett. They would have took you out like Emmett. Emmett might have said something. They heard him, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's."
I'm telling you, man. I know exactly what happened, man. When I'm reading the story, I'm like, this is a repeat. Yep. That's Chief Little Horn.
Yep.
He would have had this motherfucker turned upside down righteously, right? So imagine you merge Malcolm and Martin together all in one person. This is what he would have grew up to be because people would have responded to him like that. His thing was whistling the war cry. In the South, it's called Whistling Dixie. It became that during the Civil War, but it's an old tribal war cry. Some of them use a little flute made out of wood.
Okay.
But some of them just learn to whistle with their mouth. Okay. Chief Little Horn, if he come back, he gonna always be a whistler.
Uh-huh.
And his whistling gonna make him famous all over the land, and he gonna be able to use that as the cover story, like E40, to join the Chiefs behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So while you using your art to get you into places, You're using the places that your art take you to make your connections. Right? So we got different levels. And we got to start tapping back into the old structure and the old ways in order to remember who we is. So that's the keys to the sorcery on the land, that natural magic.
Hey, Rod, I'm waiting on him right now, Rod. Yeah. Rod cracked heads and twist caps on this one. This right here, one of the best ones. This one of the we got a lot of tapes, Rod. This one right here is one of the top ones, Rod. This is hot. I like this. I like this tape. Yeah, this was a good one because this right here taught us the next level information. It says, "Do looking in the mirror mess with your self or esteem? Does looking in the mirror mess with your self esteem?"
It's the conversation you having with the person you see in the mirror, whether you use it to tear you down or build you up. You can't never allow nobody to convince you to tear you down. Always build yourself up first, because that's going to make your real tribe come to help you build your. When they see you doing the self work, then they gonna come and help you work at the other stuff that complements that. So if you building yourself to be the king, by the time you get done building yourself into king status, you got a kingdom under you.
Somebody said, "How do they find a chief on the land in the Philippines?"
The Philippines is matriarchal. They looking for a big mama.
You already pointed that out on the 007 tape. I think you showed the big mama for that area in the 007 tape. Yeah, go check out that 007 tape, Mission Goldfinger, when Raw was pointing out the different matriarchs that were controlling the land in Asia. The one in Asia, he showed that lady that was connected with Mother Khadijah and